Obas, I'm Jack the Greek, and welcome back for another episode. Today, on the Crossroad Barbecue, you might be asking what we're going to be cooking. Well, we've got potatoes here, and we've got mince. And yes, we're going to turn our mince into beautiful Soutzoukakia, as we call it in Greece, or Potatoes. But, if we're going to call it in English, meatballs. But yes, let's call them Soutzoukakia for as long as we can. We're also going to add a little bit of tomato and olive oil, and I'm going to add a little bit of extra special touch, a little bit of mythos beer as well. So, let's get started. Okay, the first thing you might think we're going to make is our meatballs, or our Soutzoukakia. But no, we're going to put our potatoes in first. So we'll grab our pan, just like that, and let's have a quick look at the Crossroad Barbecue. It's sitting about 300 to 350 degrees, and that's where it's going to be sitting for the entire cooking. We're going to have it on high with all 4 burners until we put it in, and then we're going to put it on low. This meal shouldn't take you longer than about 30 minutes from prepping to cooking, and then plating up for the family. So, the first thing we're going to do is add the potatoes. And if you have a look here, I've got a various range of potatoes, different sizes. And I don't like that because they're not going to cook evenly. So we're going to just adjust them a little bit. These ones here, ideally with a meal like this, you want small potatoes just like this. Patates. So, what we need to do is just find the other ones now and just cut them up a little bit. So they're too big. They're too big. We've got to cut them smaller, because they're not going to cook and they're not going to come nice. So there we are. Cut them again, just like this. And there we go. Try to cut them into slices. That's the better way. More traditional. And there we go. That's probably about it now. Oh, it escaped. Let's cut that one. There we go. And one here. So, that's about 6 or 7 potatoes, small ones. And that's how we want it. So that's the first thing we'll do. The next thing, we want to sprinkle some olive oil. Just like this. Not too much. Just like that. Beautiful. There we go. We've got the olive oil in as well now. The next, we want to make our potatoes. Oh, our tomato, I should say. So put our potatoes there. Grab one of these little manual sort of grinders. Grab your tomatoes, just like this. Beautiful. Truss tomatoes, these ones. Not trust, truss. So, cut the tops off, just like this, and just give them a little bit of a thing. So, what we're doing is we're taking all the meat out of the tomato, and we're going to put that and apply that onto the potatoes, just like that. So there's one there. Beautiful. Have a look inside. You'll see, once you take the lid off, that we have our tomato just there. There it is there. So I'll keep going with a couple more tomatoes. Okay, so we've done 3 tomatoes, and let's have a look to see if that's enough, because we don't need extra tomatoes and not waste it. And I think we've probably got a little bit too much. So we'll bring that back up here, and there it is there. So what we'll do is we'll just sprinkle that, just like this. You always want to use fresh tomatoes to make this meal. Always. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so here we are. We've got our fresh tomato in now, but I think it needs a little bit more. So I'm going to use the last tomato that I had here. And I'm just going to do it straight on top like this. There we go. Beautiful. Taking the meat from the tomato. We've already put the olive oil in here. And now we have the tomato as well. So we'll put that away. Put away our rubbish. And now before we mix it up, we'll put our beautiful galas salt. I thanked our friends from G and Deli at Preston Market for the salt. You want to put plenty of salt on this. Just like that. Opas. There we go. Crushed pepper. Etsy. Opas. And the next thing we're going to do now is get ready for our meatballs. Or in other words, our Soutzoukakia. And then that's about it. The meal is nearly finished. So I've pre-prepared our beautiful Soutzoukakia today, or our meatballs mix. Standard mince mix. It's really up to you how you want to do it. But this is how I'm mixing it, just like this. Okay, mix all the flavours. Salt, the pepper, the oregano, the olive oil, the tomato. Just like that. That's what you want to do. So it's a standard mix for my mince. You've seen it on other videos as well. I normally have my mince, onions, parsley, a bit of breadcrumb, salt, pepper, and of course, I always put an egg in as well. So here we are. Today we're using venison. Yes, we're using venison again for our beautiful mince. And we're going to make our beautiful Soutzoukakia. Normally, your meatball, you might make it the size of a golf ball, just like that. But we're going to make it a little bit smaller, but also we're going to change its shape. We're going to make it into like a bit of an egg shape, just like this. And what we're going to do is just place it straight on there, on top of the mixture. If you want to come in close and have a look to see how I'm putting them down, I'm just putting them in just like that. And use the middle of your palms. The first one hasn't been done very right, but if you use the middle of your palm, you'll get a nice edge on either side. I'll grab that back and I'll give it a bit of an extra turn. There you go, there. You can see that one, it's turned out a little bit better now. And I'll just keep going. This is probably going to feed about a family of 4. Beautiful Soutzoukakia with potatoes and fresh tomato. And you can as well put a bit of feta on top at the end when it's ready to plate up. Or you can just leave it as it is with a little bit of parsley on top. Or yogurt on the side as well. You can really do whatever you want. So once we've done this, we're ready to put it into the crossroad barbecue. A few more I need to make. And here we are now. We're just making our last Soutzoukakia for our meal. Just like that. Oh, I think we can fit one more. Let's squeeze one more in. There we go. And there it is. There's our beautiful meal. We're going to leave the middle empty. And you can fill it up, but I think that's enough for a family of 4. There we are there. We have a beautiful Soutzoukakia. I'll clean my hands. And there's probably a couple more things that I need to put in. I need to put a little bit of lemoni. So we'll cut a lemoni just like that. And I'll just spray it in there. All over the meal. And I'm having a look now. Our crossroad barbecue is on 350 degrees. And it's ready to go. Depends really how much lemoni you want to put. I like putting at least a full lemon on a meal like this. Just like that. Beautiful. And like I promised, my special little touch, it's a little bit of mythos. And there we have it. Spray it on like this. Oh, just like that. Beautiful. There we go. Beautiful. Love the mythos beer. And there we have it. Our beautiful meal ready to put into the crossroad barbecue. We're going to put it in for about 20 minutes. And it should be ready to feed the family of 4. Beautiful. Oh, bus, it's back now. It's been around about 35 minutes. And I did say earlier, it probably will take us about 20. But it's taken us a little bit longer. And I'll tell you why. It's because I didn't have the cover on. I didn't put any foil on my pan. So that's why it's taken a little bit longer. But if you put a bit of foil, just to start with. Oh, bus. Oh, smell those beautiful aromas coming from the beautiful Soutzoukakia, the potatoes, the salt and pepper. We'll turn off the crossroad barbecue. Oh, bus there. And you'll notice I've got some feta here on the side. So what we're going to do now is plate it up. Now the way you plate this dish up is very simple. You just grab all your potatoes, just like this, and you put them into the bowl. Into your pan, I should say, or your plate, whatever it is. You mix up your Soutzoukakia as well. You don't worry about how they go in. And you can see how the tomato has cooked as well. Come in close and look at the tomato. Fresh tomato. Beautiful. Cooked them. There we go. Excellent. We're nearly there now. Just put the last few Soutzoukakia just on top. And again, you can put as many as you want, potatoes. But I think that's probably enough now for our dish. Just here. Beautiful. Opas. There we go. And one more. Can't forget that one. Don't you love cooking in the outdoors? You can hear all the beautiful birds. Beautiful. Listen to all those beautiful sounds. There we are. So we'll put that back straight into the barbecue. Just like this. And lucky last, we'll just sprinkle our beautiful feta. And today I've got beautiful goat feta from our friends at Preston Market. At G and Deli. There we go. Just like that. Just a few on top. Fantastic. There we go. And of course, we did put a little bit of mythos beer earlier. And there we have it. Beautiful potatoes cooked in the crossroad barbecue with some beautiful venison, meatballs, giftedes, Soutzoukakia, call them whatever you like, with some beautiful goat feta as well. Thank you again, Jack the Greek. Opa.